Guys, Council here with Walking Dead. I always mess that up. I guess it's a tradition. The Walking Dead season 3, episode 5. Say the word review type of deal. I guess. Decided to change up the format a little bit. Also, remember there are spoilers from past episodes, so if you're not, look away from the video. Don't get too curious. And also there's comic book. I say it. So if you're a big fan of the comic books and you're not caught up yet, do not so you can skip some. I'll tell comic book spoilers. I'll say it before I say it, so you know, and you could skip ahead 10 or 20 seconds. Um, so yeah, also this week I'm changing the format up. I'm gonna skip some scenes. There's gonna be scenes that really don't mean anything. So I'm gonna take scenes that I think meant something or could lead to something and talk about them instead of some of the meaningless scenes maybe. Um, so yeah, so I could tone the videos down because last video I saw there was a problem with the fast forward waiting, and YouTube doesn't like the long videos upload, so it kind of glitches out. So I'm gonna try to slow these slow these videos down uh, to maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. I'll try to. Um, I might do it's two separate videos now at a time, so they're not. You can actually see the video instead of just listening and YouTube glitching out. So we'll just get right into it. We see the first scene is a comic book scene. And comic book spoiler, I'm going to talk about this a little bit, but you should be caught up. It's not a really big one, but the governor has a daughter, and she is a zombie. He is treating her like a little kid, brushing her hair and that. Uh, she reacts to some of her hair getting pulled out and attacks him. He puts her in a straitjacket, and he puts a hood on her head, or a bag, whatever you want to say. And it was from the comic books. It's still showing how dark and a little bit loony how this guy is and how he is behind the scenes from being the governor of Woodbury. Um, so yeah, there was a big comic book scene. They, I'm gonna call this episode the comic books episode because there's a whole bunch of comic book material in this episode that really defines most of the characters. Um, Prison Rick goes back into the prison looking for Lori. I don't know, maybe killing. It wasn't really defined on what he was bent on doing, so I would guess he's going to find Lori or just release some anger. And then Herschel pretty much tells, you know, that the baby needs formula and it's healthy. Daryl and Maggie volunteer and they come back fine. They go to a daycare center, find a possum, and kills the possum. Nothing happens there. People thought there might, but really there was no struggle at all. Come back fine. Um, Back at Woodbury, they're hosting a party. I think it was to manipulate Andrea. Uh, I think I don't know what they are getting out of her. Maybe because she's got another group and they probably think they're alive. Maybe Murrow's behind it. I'm not sure. She also did say in I think the second episode um that there is another group that she was with the group. So maybe that's what they're holding out, seeing how they dealt with the National Guard guys. So that I want to know why that they kept them specifically alive. A woman he slept with or something, and she gets her katana back. She has to leave because the governor's about to come in, so she hops out of one of the windows, ends up at Milton's experimental lab or whatever, finds walkers, kills them, and gets caught by one of the Woodbury residents. Um, does not know why the walkers. She doesn't know why the walkers are there. She just found them and killed them, and it appears she's trying to get kicked out. Um, so yeah, the governor comes in and talks to her when they got her sit down. She brings a penny. The governor tries to get her to join the research team. She takes her katana back in a very cool fashion. Uh, and she is not happy. I think she does try and get kicked out. She does end up leaving um, in a very weird way, which I'll explain a little bit later when it comes to that scene. Uh, Prison yard. Oscar and Axel trying to get into the group still. Glenn lets him dig graves for three people. They still believe Carol's dead. The other two is Lori and T-Dog. And he goes up to Herschel and says that they hope they killed the prisoners. And but Herschel gives him thing not really. T-Dog saved Carol, and that he went to this whole thing about how he shouldn't have wished that. Um, but yeah, Governor trying to manipulate Andrea to make Michonne stay again, using her as pretty much a mailman. Um, Not surprising. Governor's a very fishy type of dude, a very smart one, and wise one. He uses his resources very kindly. Um, Andrea goes to confront Michonne, tell her to stay and calm down. Michonne's like, I'm leaving. She's already made a decision. Rick's still in the prison. Glenn goes to calm him down. Ends up dying, almost dying. I'm not. Oh man, that would have been bad if I said died, but almost. Rick put him against the wall and gave him a death. Really scared that he was gonna kill him or something. He let Glenn go. Like I almost said he was gonna. I almost said he died. That would have been bad if I didn't catch myself. But Glenn does not die. He just gets held up against the wall, almost killed by Rick, who is in a state where he doesn't hear anybody in the outside world. If you touch him, he will try to kill you. Which he didn't to Glenn, because he's not blind right now. Um, Milton and Merle and the research team, which I think was Martinez. There's three people, maybe next to one. Go to this little device that makes noise. It's a pretty much a trap for walkers, which they will use a little bit later, which I'll explain. Uh, they cut the teeth out. We don't know why, but very gruesome thing to do. And Milton doesn't seem like he likes it. I think Milton's comic book spoiler. If you don't want to know about this, is in the prison arc. Skip ahead like maybe 10, 20 seconds. But Alice, it seems like Milton might have the Alice thing. Alice, whenever Rick and that come to Woodbury, they leave with Rick. I think Milton could fill that, or maybe even Merle. So that could be that's speculation. I think that to be one or two people from Woodbury that end up leaving, going to the prison. I hope. I think that'd be a very interesting storyline. Um, so yeah, uh, back to Woodbury. Before that, they had the daycare scene. I explained that earlier. Um, Michonne leaves. Uh, on she leaves Andre behind. She said, "Andre, you come or not?" She's decided to stay and her way. She was very trailed by them. I think we'll find out next episode, of course. Uh, so she has this feeling that she might be getting trailed. So it's an interesting next episode to see if she gets a little bit paranoid and a little bit um, sloppy, and maybe ends up, getting some trouble. Um, so yeah, the governor's back to his manipulative with Andrea, trying to get in her pants, which I think that might escalate next episode. Uh, I'll talk about a little bit later in this video. I don't want to spoil it. If people don't like watching promos and stuff, I don't want to ruin it for you. So if you don't like watching promos, at the end of the video, I'll explain. At the end, I'll explain it. But back at the prison, Daryl's got the baby, feeding it, which everybody expected to be like Maggie, Carol, Herschel. Ends up being Daryl. Very interesting scene. I thought they're doing a really good job with opening him up. Now he's starting to, spill his feelings within the group, and you're seeing the other side of Daryl. Um, which might come back to hurt him when him and Meryl meet. It's been pretty much confirmed that they will see each other at some point. If it's going to be this part of the season or next half of the season, I don't know. I don't think it might be this season, but I could be wrong. Um, but yeah, Rick ends up at the boiler room after that. The next scene sees that Lori's remains were eaten by a walker that was pretty much ate her, stabs him. The walker like 5 times, ends up killing him. And yeah. Um, Then another comic book scene is the arena, the gladiator, where they have zombies surrounding two people fighting, Mario Martinez. Andreas says it's brutal. Governor explains to where it's rigged. He says this is for entertainment value. This is from the comic books. Like I said, this was the comic book episode so far. Um, I'm not sure if this will be brought up again. Maybe come back to haunt, but Governor says it's rigged it, so now we know why they were pulling teeth out. Um, So this is just entertainment thing, but shows they're very They're a very dark group. The behind the scenes stuff and everything, and what they do at Woodbury at night. You know, you're starting to see the dark side of them instead of being the community. The, you know, there's some things behind it. And then you see a scene with the Cherokee Rose put on Carol's grave. Daryl putting it there, hoping she's still alive. Maybe he thinks she's dead, but um, I'll explain a little bit later, right? A little bit prediction part. But puts it on a grave. Cherokee Rose was a hope thing that happened in season 2 for Sophia, and Sophia ended up being dead. So nice little imagery they used there in foreshadowing, maybe. Uh, so they're using Cherokee Rose again. And then the last scene, another comic book one, a very big one. So if you, I think this actually happens after the prison arc, a little bit after. So if you're not up to the part, remember, skip ahead maybe 20 to 30 seconds. So Rick is sitting in the room. Uh, he's sitting in the boiler room, just staring, hearing the baby cry. He hears a phone ring. Phone rings. He answers it, says hello, and it cuts off. The phone is ringing in his head. It is not ringing in the reality, pretty much. That phone is used for in the comic books for him to talk to Lori, and it makes him a little bit more sane. Even it's kind of a weird shows that he's maybe a little bit insane, but brings his sanity down, which you know I think is a very nice thing that they added because Lori dies earlier than usual. He, so the phone thing really helps, you could say, Rick cope. So next episode predictions here. Once again, if you don't like watching promos or trailers, and you go without the week without watching anything or reading anything, click the video out now. I'm done talking about the current episode that came out. I'm going to talk about the promo, a little bit of a prediction thing. So you can cut the video out now. All my links are below, Twitter and that, just for the people clicking out now. So in the promo we saw after the episode, we know that Glenn and Maggie go out for a run. I don't know, I like the two fingers. Rick still, Rick, he's come down, he's talking to people, but he's still in that state where he just wants to kill anything in his way. Um, uh, Baby, we know Michonne might get in a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure. She's smart enough to know what Woodbury might do, and I think Woodbury, Governor sent somebody out to follow her because the governor really wants her to be part of the community, and she doesn't. So she might be getting chased after because that door, she knew that door was going to open if she was going to try to leave, but they opened it right away. So they're using it to, they might chase after her. For So my prediction is, my major prediction is, Michonne finds the prison by the end of the episode. I believe that she will. I believe she's very key in fighting Woodbury. Uh, and when the next episode comes out, I'll go into more what I think could happen at that episode. So be on the lookout for that. Glenn and Maggie go out for a run for ammo and stuff. It could be the Walmart scene from the comic books. I won't go into that because this video is coming pretty close to the end. I think it's going to be the same type of episode 5, but there's going to be a little bit more action, I think. We'll see Rick kill more zombies. And also, I think Daryl, Carl, and maybe Oscar go looking for Carol again. Or maybe clean out the prison. That's what their plan is right now. I think they're going to start clearing out the prison a little bit more to get more security. So, that was my predictions for next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a pretty short video. I'm going to find out the rendering problem that I'm having to maybe longer episodes so I can actually talk about every scene. We'll, I'll work on it. Follow me on Twitter. All my links are below. Twitter, the subscribe button. I'm going to try to find out the problem. Maybe it's the format I'm rendering. I'm going to try MP4 for this video. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I might do an extra Walking Dead video since this one was a little bit short. I always keep saying I would do an extra video during the week. I never do, but I'm going to try this week. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said earlier, links are below. Twitter, the subscribe button. I hope you guys enjoy and leave a like if you liked it, and I hope to see you next time on my episode 6 review, Hounded.